What's good, family? Welcome back to another video. Just wanted to give y'all a little update on my sobriety journey, more specifically my journey on not smoking weed, because I'm not gonna lie, calling it sobriety journey probably wouldn't be the most thoroughest thing I could say, because I did drink a little bit during this holiday season. New Year's definitely did drink on Christmas, I believe. And by drinking, I mean like taking a couple of shots of whiskey. I can't do beer anymore because that shit gives me a gut and that shit makes my psoriasis flare up. So I just took like quick little shots just to feel good, just to, take the edge off for the holiday season. But that's just me being truthful. I don't want to come on here and fake the funk, But as far as weed goes, I have stopped smoking weed. It's been 100 days since I've stopped. And, I don't want to really repeat a lot of the things that I said before, because at a certain point, it kind of just becomes a bit redundant, the things that I describe this journey as. It's the same. It's relatively the same as the same benefits you would see at day 30, day 40, day 50, day 60 even. But above all else, I do feel just very relieved and proud of myself. I feel very, comfortable in my own skin, if you will. I'm not suppressing a lot of the problems and traumas that I went through in the past. I have no option but to face those problems head on, because they're at the forefront of my mind. I'm not suppressing it with any sort of, drug. So that's basically the main thing that I could say. Even like with going through a bit of adversity, even when, something happens in my life and it's just like it's bringing me down, or, something happens unexpectedly and it kind of brings me down, like I feel like I'm handling it way better than I used to. Before, if something bad were to happen in my life, I'm going out to that car and I'm smoking. Now I'm just kind of sitting with it, identifying with that, the emotional side of things, and being okay with the way that I feel in that moment, and then I'll let it go. It'll take a bit, it'll take probably like an hour or 2 hours, or however long, however much time that I need, but I find myself, getting over those things pretty naturally. That's the key word there, naturally, without using any substance, without, having to go out to the car and smoke weed. And I think that's just the main thing that I can take away from all this. Yes, being able to have dreams is cool. Yes, being able to, have an appetite, natural appetite, not having to rely on weed to make you hungry. Being more productive, all those things, all those things that come with, being sober on those first, however many days, 7 days to 10 days, like that's all definitely still there. And those are all things that I'm definitely still, pleased with having. But I think long term, it was just able to kind of reset my brain and reset my mind frame, and just kind of, realize what's important, and realize that, I have the power in my hands. I don't need to rely on a drug to make me feel good. I don't need to rely on a drug to make me feel better about whatever I'm going through in that moment. So yeah, I kind of want to keep this short and sweet, because, like I said, I don't want to really repeat a lot of the things that I've said before. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've really noticed on this journey. It's a tough journey. It's a tough journey for sure. There's going to be people that are going to want to smoke with you. I can't lie. There's been, a lot of temptations on this journey. A lot of people tempting me. A lot of people wanting to, when do you get off? When are you going to stop, or when are you going to smoke again? We got to smoke again. And with the willpower that I've gained from being sober, from me not smoking weed, I feel like it really helps me push through those difficult times. And that's not to say, You know, I don't want to point the finger and be like, oh, they're bad friends or they're bad people because they want to smoke with me again. You know, to each his own. Some people may hear this and be like, oh, they are bad friends and you should probably stay away from them. But again, like, having the discipline and the willpower to say no, you'll be fine. You know, as long as you're not easily influenced, as long as you're not, you know, falling victim to those temptations, as long as you're not, you know, becoming undisciplined, then, you know, you'll be fine. So that's definitely another thing that you can say about being sober, is that you will gain that discipline, you will gain that willpower to say no and to be like, listen, I'm not smoking weed again. But yeah, above all else, the main thing that I could say is that I've just been able to handle my problems better. I've been able to have better discipline. I've been able to become more productive, and I've been able to address a lot of the problems that I've had in the past that I was just suppressing due to, you know, abusing substances. So I'll leave it at that. I think that's pretty much all that I really want to say. For anybody who is on the journey of being sober and the journey of not smoking weed, I want to let you know that it is possible, that you can do it. It all depends on how bad you want to do it. And I know that sounds cliche, but it really does, because like I said, there's been times where I've been asked to smoke again, that I've been, you know, people wanted to smoke with me again. You know, when you know, not smoking weed anymore, when are you going to start smoking again? And I could have very well easily said, you know what, fuck it, let's smoke now. Like, it's been long enough, right? But I told myself, no, like, I want to go 100 days. I want to go, you know, X amount of days. I want to really prove to myself that I can do this. And lo and behold, I did. So it really depends on you. It really depends on your discipline. It really depends on how bad you want to do it. You can do it. You know, in the past me probably would have fell victim in those early, you know, streak days, like day 30, day 40. I probably would have been like, all right, long enough, let's start smoking again. But this time around, I was really like, nah, like, I want to see how long I can go. I want to see, you know, the benefits at day 100, day 150, you know, so on and so forth. So yeah, you can do it. It's going to be difficult at the beginning, but I promise you it gets easier as you start to build up on these days. I want to say that first couple of weeks is going to be the hardest, but once you get into a month, 2 months, everything else should be smooth sailing. You are going to get, you know, like I said, people wanting to smoke with you again, and your close friends maybe want to, you know, smoke with you again. But, you know, as long as you have the right people around you that support you, and I'm not saying my friends don't support me, don't get me wrong, like, they definitely did support me on this journey, but, you know, they like to smoke, and they like smoking with me, so they're like, all right, like, you know, we're waiting, like, we'll support you, but damn, like, would it be good to smoke with you right now, like, that kind of thing. It's not like they were begging me or like forcing me to, but yeah, like I said, if you got the right people around you, and you are utilizing your time wisely, like not sitting in bed and not, you know, like just not doing nothing, because those are the times you'll really get those urges to want to smoke again. If you're, you know, on your shit, and you're just working and you're doing the things you got to do, you're working out, doing whatever you got to do at home, like to the point where you don't have time to think about smoking, it's gonna make it much easier. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Let me know what y'all think. And yeah, peace, love, positivity. Love y'all. Take care of yourself. Peace.